Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other students, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. And gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed one, the exalted one, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to be very clear with this practice, because it is very important for yourself to understand and clarify yourself this journey, this path, and these techniques and the benefits, because that is how your own practice going to become more and more and more profitable. And at the same time, you have to remember, this is not a kind of like a practice you have to do with some kind of fear, or with some kind of doubt, and some kind of laziness. We already have these kind of qualities inside us. But when it comes to meditation, you have to have more energy, the strength, the awareness, the effort. So when you become clear with the path, you can bring that benefit to yourself. So we have to remember this journey, this life we experience here, not happened by mistake. This all we experience happened because of some reasons. And that all the reasons related to our past. And when we come to this world, there were some reason that we came here. That One is there are some kind of avidya or the ignorance within us. We had not too much. If we didn't have that kind of like ignorance completely, we are not going to be here. But there was some kind of ignorance. That's mean not knowing reasons, how things come to be as they are. And it was not kind of like 100% ignorance. If it is so, we're not going to become human. So then we were in a kind of like a middle. We had some kind of wisdom, and at the same time, we had some kind of ignorance. So some kind of wisdom help us to become human being, and that's the part of the ignorance help us to become part of this samsaric journey. So we have to accept that from the beginning. And another reason, in the past, in our previous lives, we had some kind of tanha or the desire. Otherwise, we are not going to be here. If we completely eradicate the desire, then it is a part of the liberation. But it didn't happen to us. And other one is the upadana or the clinging, grasping nature. We didn't have the ability to let go everything. And that's why that we hold it to this. That's why we became like this. And still it happened within us. And the bhava, the existence. Then again and again, we are the one who create, design our own existence. These four qualities, avidya, that's mean ignorance, tanha, the desire, upadana, clinging, grasping nature, and the bhava, the creating the existence. When we die in our previous lives, because of these four reasons, we create this moment, this birth. And from the birth, we have this, and still we are depending on that four qualities each and every day. With our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So whatever the decisions we take, when we take that decisions, what happens? That whatever the ignorance we brought from our past lives as sanskara or the mental formations, give us the background or the platform or the foundation to have this life. So then whatever we experience with our perception, that experience influenced by our previous ignorance. And then it become kind of like a habitual pattern. This is how it continues. Another thing is we brought some kind of desire from our previous lives, and that help us to create this platform, this foundation. And now when we react to our moment of this new moment of perception, what happens? Our deeper consciousness get the help out of the previous desire. So then in this moment of perception is not free, our mental formations have the connections to the previous things. Another one is clinging, upadana, grasping it, always with the self-centered idea, me, my, mine, like that, always. So then today when we react to our perception, moment of perception, as mental formations, when it affect for our perception, it comes with that previous behavior of this clinging. Even though event can change, material things can change, but again and again, this go like a circle. an existence. So the existence that we already created in our past experience, and we are here today in this very moment. With our moment of perception, what happened? We create our next moment of existence. So then what will happen? This is the continuation of this samsara, these four qualities. These four, the fundamental mental qualities that hold it to our mental formations, develop our life. And at the same time, when it continues, and then when we die, what happens? Again, your mind hold it to go back to the, it released this all the material things, but still it settled down with the ignorance that it carried, and it continued. And the desires, whatever it carried, and it continued, when you drop this moment, this life, it go back to it and settle down there. And the clinging, so whatever you had, that the clinging or the desire, it dropped this all the material things, but it go to that mental formation. And the existence itself, that whatever you created in your mind, it go back to it and hold it. And once the mind settled down with these four things, not with the outside, but deeper inside your own mind, with the names and forms, what happens? It come back again. So this is the power that giving to rotate our birth circle again and again, and repeat again and again and again. So get out of it itself is called the liberation. So then how you can do this? One of the things, just by repeating your own mind and whatever you would like, the way you want, not going to help you to get out of this. And whatever you know is not enough for you to get out of this birth circle. Why? Because even though we became human, even though we had certain kind of merits, profitable skill to come to this world, it is not 100% pure, clean. It's somehow related to some kind of ignorance, desire, clinging, and the existence. And at the same time, you have some kind of wisdom. That's why you came to this human world. So then now what you need to do, you have opportunity as a human being not to repeat that whatever the happen inside you, but to release from that and find a very brand new path. It is not easy. Why? Because we are so comfortable with what we like and what we know. And we believe that what we know will help us to find our liberation, but it's not like that. So that is where the Dharma is help for us. That is where Buddha's teaching is help for us. So then practicing mean in a certain level, what you have to do from the beginning, you have to know, you have to learn the Buddha's teaching and what the Buddha taught, even regarding meditation, even mindfulness meditation, even the breathing meditation, tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation. So you have to learn. And once you learn, you have to keep practice it. So this is simple, not what you want or not what you like. You have to practice what the Buddha taught. So at the same time, you have to remember, you have to be very careful not to follow the teacher as a person. This is one of the mistakes most of time people do. So wherever they go, even for the temple or the retreat place, so they have their own guru, they have their own monk, they have their own teacher, they believe only that. No, you have to, through the monk or through the teacher, through the guru, even through the books, you have to get into what the Buddha taught. And Dharma should be your teacher, not a person. So this is the first principle that you have to practice. Always you have to remember to know what the Buddha taught. So that is why from the ancient time, more than 2000 years, all these monks, elder monks, memorizing this and chanting the sutras and preserve this and protect this and keep it as a gift for our next generation. So if you practice yourself and the way you want, and then you can liberate it, then no need the Dharma, then no need the Buddha. But we know, and you have enough evidence just for yourself to know that whatever you think, sometimes it is not the right thing. We took many decisions in our life believing it going to be the exactly right decision, and after we took it and we knew we made a mistake. And there are things we want to buy, we go and here and there asking from people, we buy it. But when the moment you buy, you know exactly this is right thing. But later you recognize it is not the right thing. You made a mistake. And then you go and return it. So like that in our life. So whatever this we think is not the right thing. So then that's why you have to learn the technique and you have to practice according to what the Buddha taught. And when you practice little by little, by the time your mind becomes clear, so that clarity will uplift, and by the time you will recognize what the Buddha taught and whatever in the sutras, right or wrong. So but the very first thing that you have to remember, you have to learn it. Today, there are many ways, we have so much ways to learn it, and we have so many facilities to learn it. And so whenever you have opportunity, so whatever the language is not a barrier anymore for us, and whatever the place is not a barrier anymore for us. And only thing is this little cell phone or the computer or the iPad or the TV, that everywhere. Now you have opportunity to search or listen to the Buddha's sutras or the Buddha's teaching, rather than just following monks or the teachers or the guru. So get into the teachings. See what the Buddha taught. And another thing is, by the time what happens, even though you learn what the Buddha taught, what is the sutra mention about this? Even just imagine about the anapanasati or the meditation, tranquility meditation or the vipassana meditation, even what the Buddha taught. Even you learn the technique, what happens? Sometimes by the time once you start to practice, your mind start again, come back and tell, oh, let it keep. Whatever Buddha said, keep it away. I'm going to do this way. So like that, your own mind start to overcome again and again and again and start to do it the way it wants. So that is where your introspection is very necessary. And see, while you practice and observing the practitioner, and while you Meditating, you have to know the very condition or the very nature of the meditator and your intention behind your action. So that way you will see again and again, again and again, you can become very clear and stay on the path. So that's the very first thing that you have to remember. It doesn't matter you are a beginner or you are a advanced level of person practicing meditation. Sometimes the advanced mean what? Sometimes we think, oh, I do just whatever I want. I do just whatever comfortable for me. No. You have to know what the Buddha taught and follow that path for a certain level. So by the time you can pick up yourself to be more better. So then don't follow whoever the person. Remember to follow the Dharma. Dharma is your teacher. And through the person, you listen. And the next one is, and once you learn that, it is your responsibility to practice it. And once you practice and master it yourself, and by the time you are the one who is going to get result. So in case if the result is not there, and if you don't feel any kind of development with the practice, so then you have to be very careful and you have to look into yourself. Maybe you do it in a wrong way, or maybe you understood it in a wrong way, or maybe it is wrong teaching. Maybe you didn't get exactly the right teaching. So what is the result you gain when you start to practice meditation? It's not kind of like you start to levitate, you start to see lights, you start to feel kind of like a different way of lifestyle. You are not kind of like a start to have a communication with this ghost or the kind of like you're not going to hear kind of like weird sounds or kind of things. No. You start to see your own mind. You are capable to recognize your own thoughts. And you see your greed, hatred, and the delusion. And you see your desires arising and push yourself to do actions. You start to see how the ignorance or the not knowing reasons push you to do action with that ignorance. So once you learn, once you see these things, you withdraw from your own actions. You back up from your own actions rather than go and do the reactions. You divorce from any kind of reactions to these deeper emotions or the deeper desires. So that is where you change. So the very result you gain out of practice, the very first thing, you start to see your own mind. You change your own inner reactions. And at the same time, by the time you start to change yourself. That doesn't mean whatever you keep doing or things. No, deeply, you change your inner understanding. That's the result you get. And by the time, the next step, once you have it, so by the time you have to get out of this circle, rather than keep continue, somehow, end of this, you have to know, you come to the end point. So that is liberation. So that also part of this whole practice. So every day you no need to practice. Every day, this is not a kind of like that you sit for a while and then do it and then later come back again. No. Some of the practice is help to brush up yourself, gain the wisdom. So once you have the wisdom, the whole life is kind of like a practice. So then out of this all, what will happen by the time? You reduce the power of the ignorance. Why? Remember, we bring it from our previous lives. That is give us the foundation, and that the creation of this platform. So, if you reduce the power of the ignorance or the not knowing reason, if you reduce the power of the desire, if you reduce the power of the clinging or the grasping nature, if you reduce the power of holding the idea of existence, what happens? Your mind becomes more and more and more pure and clear. As a result of that clarity, your next moment going to become completely changed. So if you completely reduce the power of these four things, ignorance, desire, grasping, clinging nature, and the idea of this existence to become. So then your mind anymore not going to become with something, or you're not going to become somebody. So that is what called the liberation or the nibbana, complete enlightenment. So it is possible. How it is possible? So put the effort to yourself to get out of the ignorance. And then out of your bodily, verbally, mentally action. If you react to something, react with the complete understanding how things come to be as they are. Rather than thinking this is the way I do. No, we have to remember this is we depend on the causation, cause and effect. We don't have our life. We depending from things. And the situation's the same. So once you recognize that, you withdraw from this self-centered, egocentric mind. So that will help you to do the right things without having any desire, without having any clinging. And once the mind gets out of the ignorance, the desire, clinging, there is no way that you have attachment to become. So this is little by little, deeply you have to understand yourself. It takes time, but still, that's why we keep practice. So by the time you can uplift yourself and becoming very clear within your inside. So then little by little, give the best, try your best, and then purify the method yourself. Purify your practice, brush up your practice. So that way you can get good result. So with that, we are going to practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck hit straight in one line. And be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan it to towards yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So if your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Just settle down with the breathing. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. Your left side. And your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavatachammyehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.